Hi.
Hi.
I have a question regarding grandparent adoption.
Okay.
My daughter has 5 kids, and it's very overwhelming to her right now. And so she's willing to let me adopt 2. I can't get all 5 of them, but I'm willing to adopt 2, and she's willing for me to adopt 2. But I don't know the first step. I'm thinking that it will be that we both go to family court because we both agree to it. But what's the least expensive and quickest way to do this adoption?
Yeah. So that's a great question, Clara. A lot of grandparents are interested in stepping in and helping their children raise their children. I think that's a very noble concern. I think one of the first things to think about is adoption happens in the probate court, as we said on the beginning of the show, for historical reasons. It used to be called the orphans court. I think adoption, maybe Ken, you can speak to this. I think it's probably the only area of law that a court won't let somebody proceed pro se on their own. I don't know if there's another area of law out there, but really if you get one line on one pleading wrong, it could subject the adoption to be overturned later. And we're not talking about real estate or bank accounts, we're talking about children's lives. And so I think keep that in mind. Also, the court's going to be looking out for something called a sham adoption. So a sham adoption is where perhaps a grandparent would adopt the child doesn't live with them, the child lives with the parents who are completely stable, but the grandparent is adopting that child strictly to receive some kind of veterans benefits or college or government benefits. And so I think the basic safeguard that the court is looking at is, do those children live with you and have you formed a legitimate parent-child relationship?
Okay.
Do you also, and I know we've got some more callers, but do you also work with foster parents and fostering of children?
Right, yeah.
Can you talk to our viewers just a little bit about that concept versus adoption?
Yeah, I love foster care, and I think the people that go into foster care to take care of kids are really like the Green Berets of orphan care. My wife and I have been foster parents, probably the most emotionally difficult thing that we've ever done. There are hundreds of kids that unfortunately their parents show up to the hospital and they have some kind of substance abuse problem. Those children have to go into the care of the state. And so those children go to a foster parent, and that goal for the first year, for the first 12 months, the goal is to rehabilitate the biological parents and reunify that child with the biological parents. But if that doesn't happen, which unfortunately it often doesn't, if the biological parents don't get stable housing, employment, transportation, pass drug tests, then the Department of Human Resources, after 12 months, is obligated to file for termination of parental rights. Whoever the foster parent has been that whole time is the person that should be adopting that child. Now, one of the great things about foster care adoption, not only the need, which I just discussed, but the price. The state pays up to $1,000 of your legal expenses for finalizing the adoption. We just roll all of our expenses into that, minus court costs, just because we love promoting foster care adoption, and we love, helping people navigate that process. So, yeah, I think if there is a 10-week training process you've got to go through, but financially, if somebody says I can't afford adoption, adopt through foster care. It doesn't cost you anything.
Wow.
Fair enough.